getting hit up time and time again, getting back up. So I'm fortunate. Everyone's going to talk about how excited they are. I'm excited for those reasons. I've got a great group of guys that are returning in a league that's great, with great coaches and great players. But I've got some great returners. I've got some great returners that understand what this league takes, understand what it takes day to day to be at their very best. And so I'm fortunate for that. I'm also fortunate that you got tremendous administration here, a chance to work with them every day. As they're transforming this university, they're also taking a chance to transform the basketball programs for Jen and I. I'm fortunate to have Jen, my partner in success, someone who's been successful all parts of her life and stepping in and done a great job here, and she's going to put together a great year this year. So all you're going to get from me typically is how enthusiastic I am about the possibilities. I look at our team and I say we have the capacity to reach our full capacity. That's the most important thing you can have in life. People are going to talk about potential. People are going to talk about polls and ratings, and those things are awesome. But the reality of life is the team that gets the most out of itself starting today until the end has the opportunity to hold that trophy up in Park Place, and I feel as good as any with our team. I'll open it up to questions now.
What's the culture you've tried to build here?
It's all about love. Love for accountability, and accountability is love. Is what we talk about mostly. Life starts with love, it ends with love, and so I want to make sure these guys are feeling love no matter what. If we do a great job of loving them up, that's going to allow them a platform to be able to fail time and time again, and then they can recover with opportunity to be even better the next time. Like I talked about with Toro and Javier, guys that were maybe knocked down and maybe bruised a year ago. That love is going to allow them to really continue to grow. And I never want them to look at failure or loss as a destination. It's just the point of where we are right now. I think they've done a great job of learning from it. If we continue to do that and embody as a team with that love and everything that we do, we got a chance to put together special year.
Hi, so you've coined the phrase the world's most powerful city. How do you want that phrase to inspire the rest of the student body outside the athletics?
Yeah, well, people come to DC to change their lives. They come to DC for the opportunity to be amongst the most powerful people that make the biggest decisions and have some of the best discussions here that will change the way the world operates. And so I think any one of us that comes here to GW, we have great ambition. We have great ambition not only to change our programs, but we have great ambition to change our university, great ambition to change the world that we live in. And so when you're in the world's most powerful city, you have the platform to be able to do that. That's a huge responsibility for everyone that's here. Everyone has a chance to touch, the world's most powerful city in GW, right? We have an opportunity there. I want to make sure we hold that responsibility close to our heart, that we understand the integrity that it takes to be in that moment and to do a great job of it. When our time is called, to be at our very best.
How does your previous coaching experience at Mount St. Mary's in Siena, how has that prepared you for this role?
Oh, it's everything. Everything in life is about the environment where you come from. I've been fortunate to work amongst some of the very best. I played for a Hall of Famer in high school and in college. Worked for guys like Shaka Smart and Pat Flannery, and I've worked for some great guys as well. So I've been really fortunate. My entire journey is going to allow me to shape what we've got to be able to do here. As a head coach, being at a place like Mount St. Mary's, understanding the culture and what basketball means to an athletic department means to a university, that's a huge responsibility. When you're at the Mount, you're always replacing a Hall of Famer and Jim Phelan. No matter who coaches there, you're always replacing him in a regard. So I understand the responsibility of that. I understand the pressure that it puts on our players every day to be at their very best. Being there and being in a place like Siena that has great media coverage and has a great history and tradition and being successful in the NCAA tournament, you learn a lot from it. A couple things I've learned. Just to love your guys every day, have great enthusiasm for them. The tide can turn quickly if you're able to withstand the tide, withstand the tough storms. We've got a group of guys that have been able to do that. Also guys grow through the course of the season. So like Jen was talking about earlier, just giving our players an opportunity to play early in the year to kind of see where they can grow to, I think is extremely important. A guy like Maceo Jack started off a little bit slow last year. By the end of the year, one of the best years in the league. And I think those kind of stories are what college basketball is about. If you're going to have an elite basketball program, you've got to be able to have room for guys to fail, improve even more, and allow these guys to stretch.
How do you marry together your styles and philosophies that you've had at your previous stops with the players that you've inherited that have been here for a little while that might have played their first 2 or 3 years under a different style, a different philosophy?
Well, that's a great question for a couple of reasons. Number one, when I was a player at Mount St. Mary's, we had a coaching change my senior year. Milan Brown came in, replaced Jim Phelan. So I always feel like I understand what these guys are going through. Those first 48 hours, I understand the fear that's in their hearts about the guy coming in and sitting in that chair and what his philosophies may be and whether or not they fit into that plan or not. So I always kind of start there with the level of empathy, just knowing exactly how these guys feel, knowing how tough it is. For them, they've got 4 years to live out this college dream. So every day is important for them. That person making the decision is really important. So that's where I start with, my level of empathy for them. Secondly, is coming in and just really trying to evaluate it, not all based off the year before. And I think that's fair to everyone. Understanding what the guys can and can't do is everything we've always done. I've been in so many different systems, from pressing and trapping the ball screen to motion to zone press to zone defense. I mean, I've been really fortunate to work with the best. And the best do things that are unique. That's why they're the best. And they take chances that some won't take. I've been fortunate enough to be with them. So we come in here armed with a staff of guys that have been able to really come in and just evaluate the guys for what they do well. Not to be critical of them in the past, but to have the right mindset to help them learn from it. Because the experiences that our team has from playing in the A-10 or playing here, guys playing in high school or great divisions, that's going to be a big weapon for us if we choose to use it that way. If we choose to let it be a detriment to us, it will be. And we're going to choose to use it as a weapon for us and use that experience. And we're going to get to some of these games, and guys like Justin Missoula and Toro will have more experience in those games than I will. So in that prep situation with them, it's going to be important for me to listen to them. It's going to be important for them to listen to me. But I'm going to listen to them because they may have a little bit more experience on personnel. They might know a little bit more what these guys might do. We're going to do it collaboratively. We're going to do it together, and we're going to make it really special.
What's your offensive plan for this season?
I want to shoot a lot of threes. I don't want to miss any shots the rest of the year. That's the plan. No, we're going to shoot a lot of threes. You know, when you look at the A-10, you've got teams that A-10 takes the least amount of threes in college basketball per game. So to speak, Davidson's up there pretty high, but most of the teams are around 35, 36%. So if we're able to be able to take a few more threes, like we've done every stop I've been at, by highlighting some guys' skills, be able to really kick and spray the ball a little bit, that's going to really help us. It's going to open up the floor for us, allow us to play a little bit faster, give us a lot of quick strike ability, so we'll be able to go on quick runs, so that means we'll never be out of the game. And then we're fortunate to have a great post player. With Toro on the inside, with Chase Parr, with Ace Stallings. We've got 3 guys on the inside there that can man it, that not every team in this league has. So if we're able to knock down shots from the outside, it's going to give them more room on the inside. They're also terrific passers. And so we know percentage-wise, when the ball's coming from inside, outside, it just goes up from 3. So just building a system around the best of what our guys can do, and just really believing in them. You know, it might be ugly at times, but if we're striving to be our best and our best required, when the time's right and the moment's the biggest, we'll be ready to go.
Jamion, you've had a little bit of time with the freshman class, the 5 guys. How have they done here in the first month and a half or so? And what do you envision playing time for your first year guys?
I'm excited about our freshmen, like everyone right now is, right? So, but I'm excited about our freshmen. I think they've done a great job of coming in and getting acclimated. They're fortunate; they've got great leadership ahead of them. Guys that have played a ton of minutes, that have battled through this, that understand what they're going through. We've tried to build this system of love and accountability, where that the upperclassmen don't feel threatened by the younger guy, feel like they're bringing them along. And I think our upperclassmen have done a great job of that. I think when you build that kind of environment, your younger players feel confident enough to ask questions and to really improve. They've all done a great job of that, so I think it all starts there. The level of improvement that they're going to each have is going to really start when they get these games and have these conversations. I feel great about our group, though. I've got a great mix of guys with the freshmen. We were able to kind of hit some areas of need, added some athleticism in the backcourt, also added some three-point shooting. So, I'm really excited about where we are with our big guys. The journey's just starting for them. The journey's just starting for our young guys. But we're going to do a great job of that. Again, I've been at the few stops I've had. We've had a lot of freshmen play a lot of minutes for us, so I'm not a guy who's afraid of that. I understand what that journey is. I understand if we're able to get these guys in and do a great job with them. I think sometimes you just understand that you're going to get your young kids in and you're going to benefit from it later. I think if we do a great job, we'll benefit from it now and later. And that's our goal. Anyone that steps on that floor has to be ready to help our team right away. And I believe we have a lot of guys in that locker room that can do that. Some of the young guys, some of the returning guys, but we got a great mix.
Got time for one more. Yeah.
I've known you, Jamie. You've always been a really positive guy. Where does your kind of sense of glass half full positivity? Where does that come from for you? Like, where did that kind of start with?
I think everything starts with your environment. It starts with my mom and dad. Just had a great family where my dad's a 7-time track and field All-American. Was a guy who really worked himself up from the last spot in the track rotation at Virginia State to traveling with the Olympic team in the late 70s. And so he's got a great story with that. My mom was a special education teacher for 30 plus years. Just listening to her stories about people getting and understanding it maybe a little bit later. But I just remember her positivity and my dad's positivity all the time. The reality is if you want to live a happy life, you've got to be able to see things in a way that's clear. That's also honest. But our perspective allows us to have that growth in the future. And everything we're doing here, especially when you're educating young people, is about helping them see who they can be, helping them see what their identity can lead them to, and help them find a pathway to get there. As a leader, if I'm constantly negative for them, I'm slowing down their development. You know, one of the things we always say is don't let your emotion get involved in their learning. And I feel like a lot of coaches do that, where they're so emotional that players don't have an opportunity to learn. I want to get my emotion out of the way, and I want to help them fulfill their dream and try to be a dream fulfiller for them. And the best way to do that is to help them see where we're going to go, understand the pitfalls that may be there. But if they're able to do a great job and continue to adapt to that and follow the lead of all of us on our staff, you know, you got a chance to be something really special. And I see that in the hearts of a lot of these guys, and that's what's so enthusiastic. That's what makes it so enthusiastic to coach here every single day. We've got a lot of guys that feel that way.
Thanks so much, Coach. We'll have the opportunity